It's whale hunting season in the Faroe Islands and the pictures are traumatizing. Take a look. Dozens of dead whales are scattered on the beach. The sea is red with blood, but the people are having a good time. What's the story here? First, some background. Faroe Islands is located in the North Atlantic Ocean. It's between Iceland and Norway. The islands are self-governing, but they belong to Denmark. It's a weird situation. Faroe Islands has a tradition of hunting whales. It's an annual event. The locals come together and set out on boats. They surround the dolphins or whales by creating a semicircle, sort of like a wall of boats. Then they gradually push those mammals onto the shore. Once they're beached, they're slaughtered. This month, 2 hunts have been organized. Around 60 whales have been killed so far. You can see why it's controversial. The hunt is primitive, violent, and bloody. Let me tell you what happened in 2021. The hunters spotted a superpod, basically a very large group of whales. That's a superpod. As it turned out, there were 1,428 of them. The whales were boxed in using jet skis and speedboats. All of them were killed. Can you imagine that? More than 1,400 whales killed in a single hunt. Even the government criticized it. They said, quote unquote, aspects of the catch were not satisfactory. I don't know what catch they were talking about. 1,400 kills is not a catch, it's a massacre. So why is the Faroe Islands still doing it? For tradition, they say. Whale hunt dates back to the Vikings. The locals overwhelmingly support it. They say it's part of the culture and the meat is part of their diet. Well, maybe so. But what about the brutality? New laws ban guns and harpoons at sea. So these whales are killed using blades and spikes. Surely the brutality is not part of the culture. The European Union has already outlawed the hunting of pilot whales. But Faroe Islands is self-ruled. EU rules do not apply there. So the hunt continues without any checks. Last year, the local government agreed to limit the kills to 500. But how do you even implement that? How will hunters know which kill is the 500th? It's a piecemeal reform meant to distract. Whales are highly intelligent creatures, but in the last century, they were hunted indiscriminately. Around 3 million whales were killed. The United States led the way. They needed whale blubber as lubricant. In fact, whaling was the 5th largest US industry back then. But in 1986, whaling was banned. Most countries agreed except 3, Japan, Norway, and Iceland. They've killed over 40,000 whales since then. Iceland is having second thoughts. They have promised to stop whaling by 2024, but Japan and Norway still do it. So does Faroe Islands. And I get that culture is very dear to all of us, but at what cost? Does the slaughter of innocent mammals count as culture? And if it does, is that the culture we want the next generation to inherit? And there is no financial angle to this issue. The average salary in Faroe Islands is $60,000 per year. That's 48 lakh rupees, average salary. In Japan, it's $45,000, which translates to 36 lakh rupees. They don't really need whale money to survive, so the question is only of culture. And how do we tackle it? This is a problem that many countries face. Even in India, we have seen traditions being questioned or animal rights groups asking for bans. The truth is, there is no blanket solution. Every cultural practice is different. Every belief is different. The only solution is to take a case-by-case approach. In Faroe Islands, the verdict is clear. The hunt is brutal and unsustainable. You can't use culture to hide your bloodlust.